Winter is here, and he will stay long time, inshallah.
That's just, nobody's out there like that. Ramy is cut from a whole different cloth. He is just like Ronnie was.
As long as I'm alive, I'm never stop.
The 2022 Mr. Olympia is returning back to Las Vegas, and many have their eyes set on some of the two competitors, the bodybuilders set to fight for the Sandow Trophy. Big Ramy is one of the names that come to mind when you talk about modern-day Mr. Olympia, so what does he have to say? Reigning Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy. The larger-than-life athlete has risen to the top of his sport, but who is the man behind the muscles? Big Ramy's real name is Mamdou Mohamed Hassan Elsbieh. The 37-year-old started out as a fisherman before being introduced to weight training in 2009. He rapidly built his hulking physique, and within 3 years he was a champion bodybuilder. Ramy has continued to go from strength to strength ever since, picking up world titles and millions of fans along the way. The bodybuilder was born near Baltim City in northern Egypt, but later moved to Kuwait with his 6 brothers, where he worked as a fisherman. It was in Kuwait that he joined the world-famous Oxygen Gym, where Ramy met his mentor, Badr Boudai. After dedicating his life to bodybuilding in exchange for a job at the gym, he became a world champion within a matter of years. At his biggest in the off-season, the period of time bodybuilders bulk up to gain extra muscle, Big Ramy tips the scales at a colossal 330 pounds. Trimming down to a lean 295 when he competes, the Egyptian is almost always the biggest bodybuilder on stage. Amazingly, when he first started training at Oxygen Gym in 2010, he weighed just 200 pounds. But the champion's incredible genetics were on show for all to see as he ballooned up to a huge 280 pounds within a year. The Mr. Olympia competition is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and after a number of years with disappointing finishes, Big Ramy finally became the best in the world in 2020. He repeated his win in 2021 and is looking to defend his title at the 2022 contest in December. With all eyes on the Egyptian athlete seeking a three-peat of titles at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, he's rapidly becoming a clear center of attention in the bodybuilding world once again. After former titan of the sport Ronnie Coleman recently showered Elsbieh with compliments, another all-time great sees the same in the competitor. To Lee Haney, Elsbieh's prospects for another Olympia title appear to be a cut above the rest of his peers. When the legendary bodybuilder discussed other athletes who could potentially dethrone Elsbieh, like 2019 Olympia winner Brandon Curry, for example, he made a lofty comparison to the past exploits of Coleman. According to him, Elsbieh's team of proficient experts is a major potential boon to continued success, even with his past standard of excellence. For Lee Haney to compare Elsbieh to Coleman, who won 8 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles from 1998 to 2005, is significant. Though with 2 Olympia titles and potentially counting, Elsbieh very well might live up to such a high standard. If two bodybuilding all-timers like Haney and Coleman think that Elsbieh is at that rare level of performance, then it might only be a matter of time before he's reaffirming their keen experience on stage.
Ramy will come in better than he was last year. I feel he's going to peak. When you're on top, you know where to go down.
We need to give the people different package because we need to let the fans are working very hard to make them happy.
Particularly on the level that bodybuilding is now, guys are so much bigger. Your training so much heavier.
We need to come a more conditioned and more drier in the stage, and I think we do that 100% here.
With the body, the muscles can get larger. As far as the joints and the bones, it's hard to repair those. If you can stay injury-free, you can go a long way.
Big Ramy on Mr. Olympia. The world of bodybuilding has been eagerly awaiting this year's Mr. Olympia, set to start in December. Mamdou Elsbieh, or Big Ramy, the Egyptian bodybuilder who is also the reigning champion, is currently ready for his next big challenge. He has been winning Mr. Olympia since 2020 and is hungry for more. In an interview with Ron Harris, Ramy talked about what's kept him motivated for so long. Ramy's coach, Dennis James, who was also present during the interview, talks about his first time meeting Ramy and what changes he has observed in him. He always had a dream to win the title. He did achieve it in 2020, but it wasn't enough. Big Ramy thrived for more. The constant winning made him confident about his future.
Then his family, it's make me, he keep me in him home, like I'm one of them all the time.
The confidence that he can win more and bring more glory. Big Ramy's motivation also surprised his coach, Dennis James. Dennis also mentioned that with the way Ramy is motivated, no one can stop him from winning this year's Olympia. It would be exciting to watch Ramy dominate the stage once again. Dennis mentioned that the 2013 Ramy and this year's Ramy are totally different. They are the same person with different mindsets. As per his coach, he has gotten more confident and big too. Dennis mentioned how, during Ramy's leg day, Dennis literally tried to make this impossible for Ramy, but the bodybuilder had no fear in his eyes. The reigning champion and his coach have a job to do. They waste zero time every day and start their training at 5 a.m. Their training begins with cardio and also practicing poses for the Olympia, which is really important.
Start early this year. This time, start really early and get, work on the body parts that, where there's room for improvement.
Ramy eats a meal every 2 hours and gets a proper nap and a deep tissue massage as part of his training. This is the regular routine of Big Ramy prior to the big event. Big Ramy's tough look is promising for the reigning champion and his next title. His body is at the top, as is his confidence to win the title. Dennis James also mentioned that as Ramy has massive quads, he would now also have a massive upper body to match it up. Both the trainer and the trainee are giving their best to win at all costs.
He keep me in him home, like I'm one of them all the time.
It's basically me reliving like my career.
Well, you know something, that's a hard deal there, because the demands is placed on the body to do that.
I missed the line 1 year, 2019, I feel I'm not alive. I feel good only when with my friends fight together in the title.
Listen, when it comes to training and know-how, it's hard to get better than Dennis.
Wait for new package for Big Ramy, inshallah, next year. Yeah.
How much do bodybuilders earn from Mr. Olympia? With the 2022 Mr. Olympia contest fast approaching, let's have a look at that one thing that motivates these bodybuilders. As it's said, everything comes with a price. Have you ever wondered how much bodybuilders like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Big Ramy earn from the contest? The amount allocated for the contest is insane. The total prize money set for the upcoming tournament is $1.6 million. This amount would be divided into 8 different categories. These categories are Mr. Olympia, Miss Olympia, Fitness Olympia, Figure Olympia, Bikini Olympia, 212 Showdown, Men's Physique Showdown, and Women's Physique Showdown. It's a known fact that at this point, bodybuilding legend Arnold Schwarzenegger is a multi-millionaire. Currently, his net worth is around $450 million. However, if you'll compare the amount he earned from his first win to that of the reigning winner, Big Ramy, you'd be shocked. Bodybuilding as a sport has seen immense growth over the past decades. Not only has there been an increase in the number of participants, but the sponsors, audience, and popularity have also increased. Naturally, this has given a rise to the perks related to the sport, like the prize money. The prize money that Arnold won from his first Mr. Olympia win in 1970 was a mere $1,000. Furthermore, even if the amount carried a greater value at that time, it is nothing when we compare it to the current prize. The winner of Mr. Olympia 2021, Big Ramy, compared to Schwarzenegger, won a whopping $400,000. We are all aware of the change in the value of money over the years. However, keeping aside that, let's look at the top 3 bodybuilders who have earned the maximum prize money figuratively. Starting with rank 3, we have Big Ramy. Mamdouh Big Ramy Elsbieh has won Mr. Olympia for the last 2 years. Winning the crown has earned the Egyptian bodybuilder $800,000 in total. Occupying the second spot is the bodybuilding legend Ronnie Coleman. Though the king retired from the field years ago, the number of times he has won the contest enables him to make it to the list. The 8-time Mr. Olympia has earned $930,000 worth of prize money over the years. Ranking first on the list is the 7-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath. His total earnings from the competition surpass that of the 2nd and 3rd position holders on the list combined. The 42-year-old bodybuilder has won a whopping $21.75 million from the Mr. Olympia contests alone. While it might take years to cross Heath, if Big Ramy manages to lift the trophy this year, he'll easily surpass Coleman and move up 1 spot on the list.
Wait for new package for Big Ramy, inshallah, next year. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be tough. If you come in with that package, it's going to be hard, and nobody's going to outmass Ramy.
On him, because what I couldn't achieve, he's achieving. Or the mistakes that I made in the past, the experience that I collected, we can use on him.
Mass combination, but it's got to come in out slice and dice. Is Brandon Kerr. Got to be slice and dice,
all these guys are getting better and better every single year, which pushes the champ even more. I think I was more stressed out than he was.
Big Ramy to his competition. As Mr. Olympia approaches, much attention is being paid to Big Ramy, Hunter Labrada, and Nick Walker. And it should. The competition among these three is going to be like it was back in the day. These three bodybuilders appear to be the guys on social media who are making the most noise about their potential in this year's Olympia. That's not to say no one else is being talked about. It's just that these three appear to be getting more attention than the other guys in the lineup. I think this is normal for the season. Leading up to the Olympia, everyone comes up with their own imaginary podium. Regardless of the order in which you image them, one thing is pretty clear: Big Ramy, Hunter Labrada, and Nick Walker come up more than the other 30 guys qualified. With the 2022 Olympia so close and competitors entering the final stages of prep, Big Ramy has been more and more active on social media, showing off different physique updates to this point. The two-time Olympia champion is looking shredded once again and showed off his death face a month out. Ramy has won 2 consecutive Sandow trophies and is the heavy favorite to win his third. There are a few, if any, competitors that can match Ramy's size and his overall conditioning. Prior to the 2021 Olympia, Big Ramy and his team admitted that he did not come in 100% because his prep was delayed. That will not be a problem this time around. Big Ramy's activity on social media shows fans that he is as dedicated as ever. In some Instagram stories, Ramy showed off his death face, showing that he is shredding for December. The men's open division is set to be as exciting as ever this year. There are plenty of newcomers expected to make a splash, along with veterans like Brandon Curry and Hadi Chupan. Of course, Ramy trumps them all at this point.
I knew we had a good formula. Dennis does his thing, pushes him in the gym. I mean, we worked hard this year. He wanted to prove that he was the best.
Super definition, muscle separation. It's going to be hard to beat him because, you know, when you're a champ, you got to knock his teeth out.
And I'll tell you what, he had all the tools, and we just needed to create the blueprint. He's the hardest working guy I know. I mean, he's that type of guy.
If the physique updates are any indication, Sarsev's guarantee of the best Ramy ever might come true during the 2022 Olympia.